In this video, I'm going to share with you a case study of a website redesign project for a very talented woman called Kirsty, who has a brand called HigglePiggle. And what HigglePiggle offers are custom children's furniture, decor, and accessories. Now, the showpiece of this brand are the custom-made toy boxes, which are personalized as much as somebody would like to have them personalized, with different wooden features added onto the actual toy box or the name, and it can be customized with further colors and fabrics. Really beautiful work. And what Kirsty needed about 4 to 5 years ago was a website that would offload a lot of the inquiry messaging straight into the website process. So let's have a look at her old site, which is about 4 to 5 years old now, and then I'll take you through the improved website redesign so you can get an idea of, one, how the website or having a website for her business assisted her in the first place, but also the benefits of a website redesign 3 to 4 years later. So this is the old website, and at the time it was fulfilling all of the needs in the brief. The idea was to bring HigglePiggle to life online. We also created the logo together and the branding here. But the idea of the website was to sort of transport you into a world of imagination and cloudy dreams filled with wonderful children's decor, and that's what you get the vibe of here. The colors are vibrant. There's a lot of animation. The page is quite fun, even if it's a bit empty because the carousel is misbehaving on this old site. And as you can see, again, there are just lots of animations as you get all of the information that you'd need on the homepage. So all of the different product ranges are being presented. Everything's floating around like you're having a nice imaginative dream. We want to inspire imagination, lots of sort of doodliness and loose lines on this site. So this was really fun at the time, and as well as looking how Kirsty wanted it to look and conveying what she wanted to convey with her brand, it really fulfilled a functional function. It took a lot of the workload off her hands, because instead of somebody needing to inquire about color guides or design guides, frequently asked questions, or of course the actual individual customization options, instead of a customer having to do that on DMs or Facebook Messenger, they were able to come along to the site. Kirsty was able to say, I'm glad you're interested. Thank you for looking at my Instagram. Go along to my site and have a look around. And once a customer would do that, they're able to choose a toy box that looks appealing to them and then customize everything on Kirsty's e-commerce site. Now, this was really fantastic because it literally saved Kirsty an hour of messaging per potential sale. And what would happen then instead is that somebody would make all of their initial design decisions, add to basket. They didn't have to necessarily pay at that point, but Kirsty would get a nice order form with all of the customization options, and she could simply approach the customer and inquire further if she needed to. So this was really functional, as websites should be for smaller and local business. It took a lot of the workload away from Kirsty and just made it a smoother process for the customer also. Now, this site was built using WordPress and Elementor, and what that means is that Kirsty has been maintaining this site herself. While some elements have gotten a little bit raggy, she's done a really great job in adding new product lines such as clothing and pet range, adding products and customization options herself, and tending to the color guides, which she put a lot of work into. So the site in its original form was a lot of fun to create. It conveys a lot of imagination and lots of movement. It conveys the childish nature of the products, which is great. But being a few years old, it did just need to be tidied up. The brand needed to be a bit matured, and under the bonnet, the system that it was built with needed to be altered as well, just so that it's up to speed with modern coding. So, for example, we're still using WordPress, but instead of using Elementor, we're using the latest and greatest visual page builder called Breakdowns. So let's have a look at the new site, and we'll look at both the visuals and the function of that. So here is the old and here is the new. Now, as you can see, it's much the same. We've maintained a lot of the branding, but you will probably notice that it just looks a bit brighter and more mature. It's actually the same image, but it's just lightened, and then we have a bit of a change in the colors that are used. So instead of the childish colors that are coming in, so more blue and pink, which was a decision at the time that Kirsty really wanted, Kirsty was happy to lean into my idea here of a subtle accent of gold, and then using a more elegant, just off black dark here for the headings. Now, as we scroll down the site, we still have this sort of very feminine and charming atmosphere to the website, but there's less movement, and there's the visual hierarchy works a lot more. We're able to scan read the text much more easily, and because there are fewer colors and less movement, we're actually able to focus on the information as we scan down the page. Now, that's really important because people don't want to do much cognitive work as they scan a website. They're usually looking for something quite specific. So as we go down the page, obviously the images are doing a lot of the work. There is a bit of movement for functionality, but all in all, it's a much more elegant and user-friendly experience. Now, I'll just come back up to the heading just to show you that in the old site, we had quite a busy navigation. As much as there is a primary navigation and a secondary navigation, that's really useful. What was done here was to actually tuck a lot more away in a drop-down menu. Now, guides and info is clearly with a drop-down icon where you would find all of the additional sort of information. But it keeps the navigation really clean and draws more attention to this primary navigation. We want people to go straight to the products, but if they are looking for guides and info, they can come up here to this really beautiful drop-down menu. We've got the guides on one side and footer type information on the right. Now, if we go onto this one, it was just getting too busy with About up here, for example. And so About is all the way down in the footer. Up here on this new site, it's all where we need it to be, and we've got more room to play with should it be necessary. Again, the design guides, they are all in place, so customers can get all of the information that they need. This is slow just because it's on a dev server before I send it to live. But again, looking at the design guides, you see it's a really, really beautiful experience, much more elegant and in keeping with the new heading colors there. So lots of visual examples. And actually one thing before it goes to live would be a sticky header just to maintain presence of the navigation whilst people are scrolling on the site. And also looking at the different color palettes. Really lovely experience there of all the different palettes. Great. Let's have a quick look at one of the actual products and we'll compare the product page. You'll notice that it really isn't that different. We've maintained a lot of the initial structure and all of the customization options. This really was re-templating and re-skinning the website just to make it more elegant and more user-friendly. So this is the old, and again, it's very childish, quite big headings and lots of blue shouting out at us. So very fun, but also a little bit confusing on the eye. Here we have a much neater experience. And again, we're not trying to appeal to young children. We're actually trying to appeal to the parents and more specifically the mothers who will be viewing this. So this has a more elegant feel and much more user-friendly. So this is the new HigglePiggle site. If you're interested in the product range, please do go and check it out and get in touch with Kirsty if you have any further questions. But this is a really good example of how an initial website presence can assist a smaller and local business. It gives the users a better experience. They can find the information that they are looking for. Also, it takes a lot of that workload off of the business owner, such as Kirsty. She really found it was very beneficial not to have to go back and forth and write essentially the same messages over and over again. It makes a lot more sense to put it onto your website once and direct people to the appropriate pages. And then also a look into this case study shows that A website refresh can really make a difference in maturing a brand. You would have had 3 to 4 years of understanding what was not working on the site, what starts to irk you a little bit as you scroll down the page. So it might be fun when you put the animations together, but do you really need it? It makes sense to revisit all of that and make improvements and refinements. And then on top of that, this is now built with the latest and greatest page builder, Breakdance. It offers more functions, it offers more integrations with modern marketing techniques. So there's much more that can be achieved with this new website. So if you are interested in an initial website for your business for the same reasons that benefited Kirsty, or you're interested in revamping or refreshing your website, get in touch. I'd love to have a conversation with you, and we'll see what we can do for your business. Hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll speak with you soon. Thanks. Bye.